Hey everybody, this is Aaron Whitlow, the Swoop Squad, and we are live once again with another edition of the Swoop Squad Cast podcast. Now today we're going to try to do our inaugural episode of Retro Movie Takedown, and in this episode, I'm going to also share this on one of my Facebook pages that I have called Square Circle, and those guys in that group. I hope they enjoy this. In this inaugural episode, we're going to look at movies or trailers of movies that feature wrestlers, pro wrestlers. Yes, pro wrestlers. I like wrestling. It is what it is. So we are going to see if this works. Hopefully it does. I love 80s introduction, man. Jesse, the Body Ventura. That's the wrestler in this movie. Ultimate Warrior, huh? I get that. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's probably one of Arnold's best movies, by the way. Conan. I mean, Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. I mean, Predator. I'll pray for you. Ah. One of my favorite movies, by the way. I like the old man. He played a drunk in Back to the Future. That's the thought of America today. Greatest line ever. I did this because I'm a huge fan of Roddy Piper, and I want to honor him, with his death and all. Also, Keith David is pretty awesome in this movie as well. And I'm a John Carpenter fan, by the way, hardcore. They live, you sleep. That's the original title, by the way. It's kind of fitting in your head like a little advertisement for Obama and They Live. One of Ken's favorite movies now, by the way. This is a hilarious plot to this movie. Frogtown is a horrible movie, but it is still better than the Super Mario Brother movies. Yes, yes, I said that. It's still better than the Super Mario Brother movie. Yes, yes. Totally gives away the whole plot of the movie, even the ending. It looks like, hey, still better than Super Mario Brothers. He was like Mr. Fuji type of character. This movie is very, very unknown, but it's still a very, very entertaining movie. I enjoy this movie a lot. Yes, yes, that is the Barbarian, the Tonga Kid. The Wild Samoans, guys. The Wild Samoans. Alpha and Sinker. Captain Lou Albano. Woo! If you've never seen this movie, guys, you should watch this movie. It is on YouTube. Too soon? No, Ted Turner, it is not. But eventually it will be. Brother. Debo. Debo. What money? I'm sorry, I had to. So where did this movie go wrong? Was it the casting? Was it the movie in itself? Was it the fact that they try to make a real match between Hulk Hogan and Tiny Zeus Lester's? All of it. Right. On her face. Pretty much Mr. Nanny, but um, from outer space. Be honest, did you like Hulk Hogan in the movies like this? The Undertaker. Hilarious. No Sale, the movie. Bleh. I remember when this guy was in Remember the Titans. Not this guy. Not him. No, no, not that guy. That guy. Yeah, yeah, that guy. That guy's awesome. I don't know the other guy's name. No, not that guy. That guy. Please, please, never put Big Show in a movie again. Please, please. Or Triple H. Matter of fact, I'd rather see Big Show than Triple H. Was it the fart jokes in the movie that made the movie go bad, or was it Paul White as uh, an actor? Paul White as an actor would be the reason. Yes. We're going to go ahead and get past this because Paul White is acting. Actually, I think I can't get past it. I think this is the last of the trailers, unfortunately. Yeah, that was awful. That was that was pretty pretty awful. Awful, awful, awful. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed those trailers. Um, I'm still a fan of wrestling, even though I know that's work. People want to judge wrestling and say, "Hey, why do you like wrestling? Don't you know it's fake?" But then those same people enjoy movies. Movies in themselves are fake. These same people like reality shows. Reality shows within themselves, constructed around plots, are fake. You think that people just so happen to the crazy, insane people that just happen to show up at um, that hardcore pawn shop in Detroit just happen to show up? Well, probably because it's Detroit. I mean, it's Detroit. I mean, nobody wants to go to Detroit. I'm sorry, Detroit, but nobody wants to go to Detroit. I don't want to go to Detroit. Nobody wants to go to Detroit. So, but nevertheless, you know, it's interesting though that people hate wrestling, but they like other things that are actually more more stage than wrestling is. And um and the thing about it is those guys and those women that actually get into the ring, that fight or put on a show, entertain us, actually run more risk of getting hurt than people that are in movies, other than stuntmen, like other than Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan, I don't know if he still does, but did do his own stunts at one point. But yeah, people need to just stop hating on wrestling so much. Yeah, you stop calling it fake and things like that. It's offensive. It's like a racial slur to tell a wrestler that what they do is fake, even though Vincent Kennedy McMahon still likes to pretty much remove himself from professional wrestling and bring himself to a place of sports entertainment. He does this, and in the same time, he treats wrestling as a stepchild, redhead stepchild that he disowns and wants to dissociate himself from. But it was wrestling, especially in the '80s with the rock and wrestling and WrestleMania and things like that, that allowed him to become as successful as he is. It's like KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken shortening their name to KFC to disassociate themselves from the fact that the F in KFC stands for fried. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to just disown yourself or disassociate yourself from what it is that made you who you are because you think that you've made it. World Wrestling Entertainment is only World Wrestling Entertainment because of wrestling. It wasn't because of No Holds Barred. It wasn't that way because of other ventures, and even the fact that it's No Holds Barred was even a thing, even a possibility, is because Hulk Hogan made a cameo in one of the Rocky sequels. I want to say Rocky 3. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Brandon Spivey, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that it is Rocky 3. But because of that, and uh, James uh, McMahon, Vince's daddy, Vincent James McMahon, is he he absolutely hated the fact that Hulk Hogan um, took that gig in Rocky. He hated that. He hated that. He actually, I think he wanted to fire him, or he either fired him, but one or the other. He hated it. But Junior, uh, Vincent Junior, seen something that, let's do this. Let's and I'm not discrediting the guy. He's a visionary. What he did, he took wrestling um, from a territorial thing to a worldwide thing, and he did do this. He did do this. To say that he did not do this would be to discredit what he has done in the business. He's done that. He's absolutely done that. So I'm not gonna sell the man short. He did exactly what it is that he was intending on doing. But I don't know if his focal point within the whole scheme of things was to move to a place where wrestling is on the back burner to entertainment. If wrestling is on the back burner to entertainment, and his becoming Mr. McMahon, that character of Mr. McMahon, uh, was perhaps a him living out a childhood dream. I'm pretty sure his dad did not want him to ever step in the ring. He wanted him to, just be in the background either, and then promote. Perhaps I don't even think he really wanted him to get into that aspect of the game, of the business. But you know, I'm running on a rant here. But let me tell you this real quick. Don't call wrestling fake to the performers, to the athletes, and the entertainers that do it, because these guys and these girls do go out there and they can get hurt. We remember Steve Austin suffering a stinger by the hands of Owen Hart from a pile driver. We remember Darren Drozdoff getting paralyzed at the hands of D'Lo Brown from I believe it's a super bomb from the top rope. Dustin Medicus could correct me on that if I'm wrong, and Timothy Stevens can correct me on that if I'm wrong. And then you have also just a number of other things. Don't forget Sid Vicious, who didn't Sid Justice, or whatever you want to call the guy that can't wrestle, getting on the top rope, jumping and breaking his leg, or John Cena breaking his nose just recently by hands of a displaced knee. Which I like that they kind of going with that, as like they built that into the storyline, or into the feud that these two are having. Although I hope Super Cena does not beat him, honestly, because Cena kills wrestling. Timothy is right. But nevertheless, if putting wrestling in the back burner is what the focal point now is of Vince McMahon and of the WWE, it's alienating its core audience, not the teeny boppers who like Cena and little high flying wrestlers or whatnot. I'm talking about the guys that like wrestling, the guys that liked WCW back in the day, putting on wrestlers with Eddie Guerrero and Benoit. I know it's illegal to mention Benoit's name these days, but The guy could wrestle. Hate what he did, but nevertheless, the guy could wrestle. It's those guys, those type of people, the Dean Malenkos, the Chris Jerichos, the people that was in WCW that actually made WCW great because they actually wrestled. They showcased wrestling at one point over the entertainment aspect. They had better wrestling than WWE. WWE had better production value. WCW had better in-ring performance. Um, Now you get somebody like a Triple H who is in charge of who's in charge of what used to be FCW, I believe. Now it is NXT. Yeah, who's in charge of NXT and has such a love for wrestling. This guy has such a love for professional wrestling, and he desperately wants to mingle entertainment with wrestling to make wrestling better. He wants it to be known as wrestling. Vince McMahon in his podcast with Steve Austin kept calling it entertainment, sports entertainment. He hates the term wrestling. Steve Austin had to speak outside of himself and keep calling it entertainment. Steve Austin's a wrestler, guys. He's a wrestler. Vince McMahon is an entertainer. He's into the entertainment business. But we hardcore fans want wrestling. We hardcore fans want to see professional wrestling. We loved ECW. I loved ECW. ECW to me in the in its in the 90s was like a breath of fresh air because at this time in WWE, then WWF, World Wrestling Federation, it had at that time it had lots of like cartoonish type of characters. You had Doink, you had Duke the Dumpster Drosy, you had the Godwins, you had a lot of guys like that, just cartoonish, Bastion Booger type of characters. Maybe even the Oddities was there. I have no bloody idea. But you had characters like that. WCW in this time frame, WCW had wrestlers, but it was still it wasn't as entertainment. It wasn't as entertaining as ECW was. ECW had Taz. ECW had Tommy Dreamer. ECW had Shane Douglas. ECW had Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East. ECW had Sabu, the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal Sabu. ECW had Chris Benoit. ECW had a lot of these guys. Eddie Guerrero was there at one point. ECW had and Sandman, he was there too. Let's throw that out there. And New Jack, nobody cares. Anyway, these guys was there, but nevertheless, it had wrestling. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was edgy. This is the first place I've seen folks get put through tables and jumping off of bingo hall upper deck bingo playing places. This is the first place I've seen those type of things happen. Um, it was very, very entertaining. Now in wrestling we don't have that, and we love and we are hungry for that. That's why a guy like Kevin Owens is a breath of fresh air today, because the guy is not like what you see or what WWE specifically makes the lead guys to be, big monsters, muscles, whatever, uh, tall. That's why Brian Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, was such a breath of fresh air. That's why people like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are breaths of fresh air because they are not the norm. That's why Bray Wyatt is a awesome not only entertainer but awesome wrestler. Because these guys are just a breath of fresh air. They're not the norm, and I hope that they give them play. I hope that they don't. make them our truth, you know, or Kofi Kingston type of characters. Although New Day is growing on to me, is growing on me. But I'm down with my rant. Let me woosah woosah. I'm done with my rant. I want to know what you all think of this show, Retro Trailer Takedown, the Swoosh Squad and Swoosh Squad Cast podcast. I want to know what you think I should do, and I would love to get my buddies in here and talk. We can talk wrestling, we can talk shop. It'll be fun. It'll be entertaining. I would like to know what you think. Please subscribe to Swoosh Squad Show on YouTube. If you like it, love it. If you see me on Facebook, friend request me. I will accept it unless you are a serial killer. Then I will not accept it. I will tell you to go away and get restraining orders and EPOs and whatever else. I have dogs. Remember that. They're big dogs. They might bite. Please, if you come my way and you're a serial killer. But nevertheless, if you're cool and you want to friend request me, it's cool. If you're not a stalker, I'm cool with that. If you are a stalker, restraining orders, EPOs, I don't know. Just don't come my way. All right, guys. Aaron Whitlow of the Swoosh Squad. This is a podcast. I'm having fun, guys. I'm having fun with you. You have a great rest of your Wednesday. Is it? I think it's Thursday. Thursday. This is Thursday. Man, this week's gone by fast. Have a great Thursday, bro. And we'll see you hopefully Saturday with some tune in cartoon reviews. We're gonna look at some cartoon intros and talk about them and share some nostalgia. You guys have a good day. Stay swootin'. Holla at your boy.